Ladies and gentlemen, President Trump and the fine gentlemen down at the Department of Government Efficiency have just uncovered one of the largest taxpayer money scandals in all of United States history. And no, I'm not joking. You see, as of earlier this morning, we now have definitive proof that FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, has been stealing money away from Americans and giving it to illegal immigrants. All under the direction of the Democrats. You can't make this stuff up. But you know what? To really kick things off here, I want you guys to take a look at this clip from Biden's old press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, from just 4 months ago.
So, disaster relief, this is a falsehood. Disaster relief funds used on immigrants illegally in the U.S. The fact is, no money is being diverted from response needs. That's the fact.
You hear that? That's the fact. Well, guess what? Actually, that was just a bold-faced lie that was told to us, the American people, by the Biden administration. But now, real quick, the reason why Miss Jean-Pierre was talking about disaster relief money was because of the recent catastrophic hurricane, Hurricane Helene, that ran through North Carolina. And as I'm sure many of you will remember, the victims of that hurricane pretty much got no support from FEMA. No, you see, instead, these people were effectively ignored by the Biden administration for weeks on end. They weren't important enough to help out, probably because most of them were Trump voters. But okay, so while these people were suffering in North Carolina, what was FEMA doing? Well, and this is the big scandal of the day that we're about to talk about, as it would turn out, FEMA was busy giving millions of dollars to illegal immigrants in New York City. Take a look.
We have a case in New York where a hotel has paid $59 million, $59 million because it's housing migrants, illegal migrants. All illegal, I believe.
And they were being paid twice the normal room rate at 100% occupancy.
Unbelievable.
So it's a racket.
Yeah.
You hear that? $59 million for illegal immigrants in downtown New York. In fact, take a look at the hotel that they all got to stay at. These illegal immigrants were probably living better lives than any one of us. 5-star hotel, catered food, they got the entire works. And just like Elon Musk said, this was a complete and total racket. FEMA was paying 2 times the normal rate for hotel rooms at this hotel. So at a hotel like this, we're talking thousands of dollars per night per person, and the hotel was claiming a 100% occupancy rate. So I'll tell you guys what, someone here behind the scenes was making an absolute ton of money at the expense of the American taxpayer. But okay, now check this out. Take a look at what Republican New York House Representative Mike Lawler had to say about all of this.
These funds have been misappropriated going back to the Biden administration. And New York City, a sanctuary city, has been wasting billions of dollars of taxpayer money, billions with a B, to provide free housing, clothing, food, education, and health care to illegal immigrants, including criminal aliens that are here illegally. And so, you know, I applaud, frankly, DHS for taking action to stop these payments under President Trump's leadership, because we have incentivized cities like New York and states like New York, a sanctuary state, to allow this to continue, and it has to stop.
And you know what? He's 100% right. This type of corruption has got to come to an end. And you know what? Thank God that it is. But notice that word that he used, incentivize. That's exactly the right word to use in this situation, because what these sanctuary cities have done is light a beacon, letting all the criminals and all the illegal immigrants know that that sanctuary city is a safe haven for all of their crime and illicit behavior. And then, before you know it, guess what? Your entire city is completely overrun with criminals and illegal immigrants because you're explicitly telling them that they can do whatever they want and they won't get in trouble. Go figure. But now take a look at this. President Trump right now is not happy, to say the least, about all of this corruption going on at FEMA. You see, just earlier today he posted, FEMA spent tens of millions of dollars in Democrat areas disobeying orders but left the people of North Carolina high and dry. It is now under review and investigation. The Biden-run FEMA has been a disaster. FEMA should be terminated. It has been slow and totally ineffective. Individual states should handle storms, etc. as they come. Big savings, far more efficient. So, did you guys hear that? President Trump wants to completely terminate FEMA altogether. And hey, I mean, can you guys even blame him? FEMA has one of the worst track records out of all of our government agencies, and as you all know, that's a pretty competitive category. But now, real quick, before we move on with the rest of the video, I want to say if you guys enjoy the videos, please consider subscribing to the channel because it really does help a lot with my daily struggle against the YouTube algorithm. But okay, so this is the point. It's pretty hard to defend FEMA when they very recently let a bunch of North Carolinians live in the cold while spending $59 million on a 5-star luxury hotel experience for a bunch of illegal immigrants. And listen, guys, it's important to remember that none of this happened by accident. It was an intentionally made decision to ignore the victims of Hurricane Helene and to instead spend millions of taxpayer dollars on illegal immigrants so that they can live inside of a ritzy hotel. The Democrats intentionally chose to do all of these things. In fact, take a look at this.
Shame on the Democrats. Taking money from FEMA, taking money from Social Security to support people who have come into this country, broken our laws, and live here illegally. Shame on every person who voted for that, supported that, all the way up to our vice president, former vice president, and former president, and their cronies as well. That is beyond. You're taking from old people in this country that worked their butts off to pay into their Social Security. They might not even have the money that they need when they need it, but you're doing that and you're giving it to migrants? I can't make sense of that.
Well, listen, let's try to make sense of it. Here's my take. They hate you, they hate us, and they hate America. Why else would they be ignoring Americans that have just suffered a catastrophic natural disaster, instead choosing to spend millions of dollars on pampering a bunch of illegal immigrants? In fact, it seems to me that as far as the Democrats are concerned, people that chose to invade our country illegally deserve better treatment than us red-blooded Americans. So once again, let's just be honest here. I don't think we all need to sit here brainstorming ideas. Why did the Democrats do this? They hate America. I really do think it is that simple. However, with all of that being said, they are no longer in power anymore, thank God. And so check this out. After uncovering all of this fraud at FEMA, not only did President Trump call for the termination of the organization altogether, but he also immediately fired FEMA's chief financial officer, a woman named Mary Comins, who was in charge of putting all of those illegal immigrants inside of that 5-star hotel. So hey, folks, here's the real takeaway. The days of all of this unencumbered Democratic corruption, just stealing money and throwing good Americans under the bus with complete and total impunity, have come to an end. Patriots are back in control of the country now, and guess what? It is time to make America great again. And of course, the corrupt Democrats are going to kick and scream every single step of the way, but making America great again is a non-negotiable. This is going to happen whether or not they are on board. But hey, I think that's all I've got for you guys today with this video, so please go down below and drop a comment. Let me know what you think. While you're down there, please like the video if you liked it. Like I said earlier, please consider subscribing because it really does help a lot. Thank you all very much for tuning in today, and of course, as always, stay safe.